Hello and welcome back to episode 3 of Everything in the Sky with me, the Rusted Gamer. And first on our agenda today is a steam engine, and we don't have very many things we have to do first to get there. Alright, so we did most of our crafting in the last episode. We got the pipes and mechanical pumps and fluid tanks, even the steam engines and a lot of them. But what we're going to need to do now is take these empty blaze burners and get them filled just like this one. I need 9 to do what I want to do, which means I need technically 8 because we have this one filled here. So that's going to mean a trip to the nether. Hopefully it doesn't mean a death loop. I have decent-ish equipment and pretty much no levels. I used all my levels to make my equipment. So let's go play around. Alright, well we're coming up on the fortress now. I'm hoping I can get down into that lower platform before too much stuff spawns down here. Alright, if it's just you, I can make this work. Oh, okay, fantastic. Fantastic. That means I can slab this area off now and have a safe way to get down. Alright, well I have a safe-ish place to work now. I wish I brought a few more blocks with me so I could have made these walls a little bit higher. That's alright, that's alright. Looking in now, you can get the full sense just what's ahead of me. It's going to take a little bit to get the blazes I need, but I got plenty of food and I actually have a wall now, so I should be relatively safe. Alright, thankfully that's done now. I will bring a couple of blocks back next time, but being able to actually have a place to go and hide and heal, huge. Got the 9 blaze burners we needed. I wasn't going to bother hanging around to try and get the last 3. All kinds of loot drops. I got a piglin egg, I got wither skeleton eggs, I got a skull. Pretty crazy. Killed a lot of guys in there, but I got my drops, so time to head back. Alright, back in the base, I think I have just about everything I need to put my steam engine together right here. So the first thing we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to set ourselves up to start putting down our lava generation. I got a stack and a half of cauldrons. So the first step is right here. Bam. So we're going to set a same setup we have over here. Same setup, exactly the same, except now we're going to put pipe under it. Alright, just like that. One big solid brick of pipe. And then I think from this side, we're going to do it like this. Because I only have enough lava above us to be like the first half of this. Right, if you look up here, I only got about a third of this filled with source blocks. So we're going to have to start on this side here. And this is what we're going to do now at the bottom. All the way across. Alright, we got about 2/3 of it done before I ran out of dripstone. Perfectly fine though, perfectly fine. Going to go ahead and craft this wrench here because this will make everything involving the create mod much easier. Basically insta harvest. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set our blaze burners down where we plan to make our steam engine. What I'm going to do is I'm also going to excavate out a small area underneath them like this, because we're going to have pipes underneath them. Alright, so we got all the piping in, right? And you can see it's not actually making contact with the blaze. What's up, dude? You got nothing of value. So it's not actually going to power them right now, which is okay. We're going to fix that next. And that's because these guys require straw in order to be turned into what can be used as a liquid. So what we're going to do is bring this rolling mill over here, plop it down, take some bamboo, plop it down on top just like that, and if you watch above, we're going to make straw just like that. Alright, now that we have our 9 straw, just click on the blaze like this. Now it's a blaze burner with straw, and you can kind of see that the pipes now flow into it. So that is now a completed mechanism. What we do now is we put fluid tanks on top. And there we go. I mean, that's almost a completed steam engine. Let's go ahead and get connected here. Click on it with the wrench, we turn it in the right direction. There we go. Now that's all hooked up. Obviously it's not producing power at the moment, so it can't really function, and that's okay. And the next thing we need to do is we need to run our connection over to our water source. Now we don't have to use 2 connections like this, but I like to use 2, so that's basically what I'm going to do. And these are affected by the rate of speed at which they spin. So once we get to a point where we can make a rotational speed controller, then we can up the speed of all of these guys entirely, and that will adjust how much fluid they pump in. If we do it just like that, and then if we click on them with the wrench, all right, fantastic, just like that. It's sucking up from the infinite water when we get it all hooked up. Everything looks good. Next up, let's actually get our steam engine set up here. The first thing I'm going to do is come up top, drop a torch. Alright, so we take our steam engine, we plug them in like so. As you can see, you don't really see anything yet. That's alright. And then if we take our shafts like this, right? There we go. There you go. And that will eventually be a steam engine now. Now I just got to go ahead and hook everything else up. Alright, check this out. I almost have it totally hooked up. So that's the size of it. I'm going to only hook up one node for now. And basically the power is going to come down here. It's going to go in through the shafts. And then it will now power these two pumps. And these two pumps will come over here and power this pump. And we got to wait for get some more lava in here before we turn anything on. But that's it. That is literally it. Now I'm going to make a small extension off of this. Alright, so this is kind of the last little bit of it. I take this hand crank and I push this down. Now when this takes lava, it will fill this entire area completely with source blocks. Take the lever back. Take this off. Everything is now hooked up totally except for power to the actual system. And then I can turn this area on by putting a cog here, but I'm going to leave it off for now. Got 3, 6. Well, we got some lava. Let's turn the system on, shall we? All right, I shut all other things down. The only thing I might have to do, I'm not entirely sure, is I might have to up the rotational speed of this. Maybe. Everything is hooked up. All I got to do is put this shaft in. Oh yeah, there we go. There we go. Do any of these blaze burners have... They turn a different color when they get lava in them. Alright, alright. Look, we're pumping water. There it is, there it is. That's it. One of these must have got lava, right? Yep, this one here. See how we change colors? So now I think if we do this, that should stay running on its own. Alright, so one of the things that you can do with lava, although you can't do with water, is with the lava I can just poke it onto the blaze burners, just like this. There you go, you can see it's functioning. You can't do that with water on the fluid tank, because the fluid tank's not actually really holding anything at the moment. But it does work with the lava. And there we go, that's running. I'm pretty much ready to hook that up soon. Alright, so I've been pretty busy. I'm working on setting up these two farms here. This one here has already got some cows in it, as you can see, functioning. It's only half done, as I need to produce some deployers to get it to the next segment of where I want it to be at. But for now, it's doing pretty good. It's holding the cows, and I mean, if I want to, I could stop reproducing them. Basically, all we have going on, if we look over here, is one little chute. That's a stair right there, which is something I will waterlog to push the animals down. And then the deployers on the outside, when I have them built, are going to both feed and, in the case of the sheep, shear them. So I'm hoping that's how it's going to work. And of course, eventually I'll get into entity cramming limits, and they'll just die and drop their items down, and that items will go in a chest as well. Check it out, check it out. Well, I've been slowly building the farms up over there. All of the blaze burners are now filled with lava. They're all totally functional. If you come and look over here, we actually have lava starting to be built up in here, and that is because if you look up here, this is now entirely source blocks. The whole thing is done, which means we can take this whole mechanism down. And this will now power us for the future until we're ready to build our primary island. Alright, so before we can get to the next level of building, we need deployers. Now, deployers require this brass hand to be built so you can put it into the deployer right here, brass hand, right? And we have everything we need for that, so no problem there. The other thing though we need is an electron tube. So I set up this module here, which is basically grinding cobblestone down into dust. You can see it up there, dust, and that gives us, among other things, rose quartz. Now rose quartz, you need sandpaper. Let me see, is it this way? No. Oops, just like that. You need sandpaper. So what we do is we put the quartz there and the sandpaper in the offhand. And you do this. And the sandpaper does not last very long, as you can see. Now, we can make diamond grit sandpaper, which we will in the future. Alright, so now we have 24 polished rose quartz. And if you take that with an iron sheet, that's how you get your electron tubes. Nice and easy. And now if we come over here, yeah, let's just make all 45. And then we can make our deployers. And we'll make all 24 deployers. Fantastic. Now the next step for these guys, right? Like this. 2 deployers, and now I'll put some chests on top of those, and they'll be able to hook it up here. And they will automatically feed our cows. And I'll do the same thing over here. Check that out. We got it going. I just hooked the deployers up. I forgot there was an achievement. So basically now all we do, I mean it's not super fast. I might change the speed of this at some point. Just throw our wheat up here. It's now getting loaded into the deployers. And when they actually deploy, we should see, there you are. There are the love hearts. Alright, let's take a look. So I got 2 full segments now hooked up. Almost hooked up. There we go. Let's go ahead and clean this up a little bit as well. Fantastic. Now what should be happening here is zinc and brass should go, not zinc. Zinc and copper should go in here. I'm going to change these funnels out. We'll set it up to get sucked into the basin, and then it'll get automatically mixed. You can see this blaze burner is now being supplied from this guy with lava. There you go. I love that feature right there. So that is pretty much all set and done. I just dump everything in and go. And then over here I set up an automatic wood stripping and encasing machine. So I'll set my wood logs in here. They'll drop out. They'll hit onto the saw, which will then strip it. And then they'll get put back onto this conveyor belt with this deployer, which will automatically deploy my andesite or my copper or whatever type of encasing it is, and automatically deploy it into the chest. Alright, I absolutely need to get some brass funnels going. So you can see we're still missing the electron tubes, but I made a bunch of the polished rose quartz. So we can, in fact, get a bunch of these. 64, alright. I will take a full stack. Let's go deploy a bunch of these. Alright, check it out, check it out. This is going to be our precision mechanism machine. Now this thing is incredibly expensive. If we go over this way, and we look at our precision mechanism, this tells us what we need to do to create it. Now we need to use deployers to put a small cog, a big cog, and an iron nugget on a gold sheet, but we got to do it 5 times, right? So that's a lot of wood, that's a lot of andesite alloy, that's a lot of resources. But it is absolutely worth it, and we don't really need to make more than 2 or 3 in the very beginning anyways to get our precision mechanism system going. But we are looking pretty good, and this is basically it. It's just going to go around in a circle, get sucked up back in the chest, and that's it. Alright, you can see I set the item filters up now, so only those items should drop out of those chutes. There you go. Gets loaded in, and alright, so it's not currently going because I don't think it's going fast enough. There is a speed limit for some of this stuff. That's perfectly okay. We don't need that going yet. I think all of this will work fine. So I'm going to go ahead and get this loaded up. All right, check it out, check it out. I got everything loaded up. We got 64 cogs, 64 large, 64 iron nuggets. All we got to do is throw our gold sheets in here and this system should get going. Things of note, sometimes it messes up and deploys stuff in the wrong manner. You'll probably see that by the time this is done. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Yeah, it's not the fastest system in the world, is it? Alright, here we go, precision mechanisms. And this is a perfect example of sometimes it's doing something else. Here it tried to make a precision mechanism, but here we have an incomplete heat engine. Totally different system, but that's alright, it doesn't happen that often. Let's go ahead and get the achievement. Next up is a rotation speed controller, and I'm pretty sure I already have a brass casing. Alright, now I have a brass casing. Now I have a rotation speed controller. The animals are getting pretty full, huh? We gotta just be getting close to the point where they should start suffocating to death, I think. Fantastic. I'm gonna have to come over and address that at some point. Oh, we're out of food. Alright, this is the point where we stop the system. So we're going to want to set up this rotational speed controller. And we put a big cog in it like that. And now we just got to hook everything up here. Alright, just like that. And now what's going to happen when we get this thing turned back on is we'll have the ability to change the speed everything is going at. And since everything out after this is now hooked up here, right, it's hooked up in this spot, everything will have its speed changed. Let me go ahead and hook it up to power source. Alright, and just like before, we have our power line hooked up. However, things are different. Alright, let's make sure we have everything get its water and it's going. Alright, here we go, ready? Check it out, full power. We're operating at 100% power right now. Oh, look at that speed. And that's our stress level. Pretty good. Oh, look, check it out. Now that we have proper speed, we are producing brass. Alright, let's go ahead and turn this down a little bit. We don't need it at full power at the moment. Oh, I should change this whole system around before I cut this. I'm going to change this whole little system here. Alright, I think that looks a lot cleaner this way. I just used the encased chain drives. Everything is still basically hooked up the same. Go ahead and increase our power output. That's it. Everything is going. Interesting thing of note is when I changed this around, I accidentally changed the direction of everything, but thankfully because everything was, right now is only being controlled here, I just had to add an extra gearbox and there's no problem to fix everything. Alright. So, to replace the old cobblestone generators that are now disconnected over here, I've set this guy up. Now, if this works correctly, everything is powered under here. We should be pumping lava into these mechanical pumps. And when I flip that switch, that will cause these windmill sails to pick up and put down and pick up and put down. Because basically, it's going to get power, it's going to lift up, it's going to lose power, and then it's going to drop back down. And when it does that, the water should fall down, hit the lava pumping up here, create cobblestone, and then when the sails get put back down, land in the water stream up top and get washed into these guys. Oh. Anything good? Blue ice, huh? I kind of want the blue ice. Alright, hold on. Temporary pause. Alright, I got mushrooms too. Here we go. Flip it on. So I'm thinking it's working. Okay, it is working. Alright, so I think what I should do is drop this down one level, the collection area down one level. But it's working. Alright. Alright, check it out. That looks like it's working better. man, is that producing a craze. That's almost a stack of cobblestone every time it pops. Ah, it happened too fast. There we go. That's the wood making the casings. It's a brand new day, and I have been busy. Busy, busy, busy. Look at all the new modules. So, quick and easy one, of course, we have a new press here. I mean, nice, really basic module. Nothing special about that. Now we have bulk smelting areas here. Right, so like you got the encased fan blowing water, blowing lava, and blowing a campfire over items that will get dropped down into this chamber. Now the campfire is used predominantly to make food. And this lava area here will be used to smelt items. And the water thing has a couple of uses that for the most part I won't use much of. And then of course I reset our bulk sifting areas. Now with, you can see there, at the high speed that everything is running, everything gets sifted very, very quickly. And what's going on here is most of this stuff is now being filtered out. It's going into this mechanical press, and it's being stored over here in block form. So basically it increases my storage drastically. Drastically. And then I have these two channels over here, one for dust, as you can see, and then the other one for sand, mostly for the kelp, so that I can have conveyor belts and things of that nature. But looking good. Looking good. And then this one here is just to make the polished rosé quartz. So this is filled with sandpaper, as you can see. You just dump them in here. You just dump them in here like so. There you go. It's sanding them for me, and then eventually I'll just come back with the iron plate. Alright, well I think that's going to be it for today. We made massive progress. Absolutely massive progress. The next episode is going to be all about bulk material creation. Definitely going to put a couple more segments on here. Going to change how I'm doing some of my storage, things of that nature. Definitely got to get my mechanical extruders set back up, so that's going to be coming pretty soon. And we'll start talking about the massive project I want to start undertaking in episode 5, I believe. But until then, I've been the Rusted Gamer. You know the deal. Like, subscribe, favorite, whatnot. Until the next episode, have a great day.